Vasudevan, Mrs. Norbhu, Mr. Pramod Kumar, Dr. N. Manika, Mr. Abhinav Gaur. So while the panelists take their seat on the तो जैसे कि पिछले सत्र में हम लोगों ने बात करी कि उत्तर प्रदेश जो है, प्लीज, उत्तर प्रदेश बहुत गति के साथ अपने कदम वेलनेस के तरफ बढ़ा रहा है और कुछ इनपुट्स जो हैं पिछले सेशन में हमने देने की कोशिश करी कि वेलनेस किस तरह से मेडिकल टूरिज्म के साथ कंबाइन करके एक नीश बन सकता है। और जैसा उसी को हम कंटिन्यू, आई थिंक देयर सम प्रॉब्लम विद द माइक। उसी को कंटिन्यू करते हुए उन्हीं इनपुट्स को हम दोबारा से एक बार रिपीट करना चाहेंगे बिफोर आई ओपन इट टू द पैनलिस्ट एंड सी द प्रेजेंटेशंस, कि उत्तर प्रदेश स्पिरिचुअली एक काफ़ी मुकाम पे पहुंच ऑलरेडी एक स्पिरिचुअल डेस्टिनेशन था और अब वो एक नई ऊंचाइयों को हमारे चीफ मिनिस्टर योगी आदित्यनाथ जी के कामों की वजह से, हमारे प्रिंसिपल सेक्रेटरी मुकेश मेश्राम जी जिन्होंने उनके विजन को, हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर के विजन को एक नया आयाम दिया, उसी कड़ी में ये नए प्रोडक्ट्स जो हैं वो यूपी में अब जुड़ने की मुहिम चालू हो गई है। बहुत ही इलस्ट्रस पैनलिस्ट हमारे पास आज सुबह से हैं जिनका इंट्रोडक्शन मिस्टर मेश्राम ने दिया था। अलग अलग साउथ ऑफ इंडिया से आए हैं, उन स्टेट से आए हैं जिन्होंने एक खासा मुकाम इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में इन टर्म्स ऑफ वेलनेस टूरिज्म और दूसरे किस तरह से उन्होंने कोऑर्डिनेट करा हुआ है मेडिकल टूरिज्म के साथ वेलनेस को, उसको उन्होंने हासिल करा हुआ है। और उसी के एग्जाम्पल्स हम लोग आज सुबह से पैनलिस्ट से सुन रहे हैं, उनके प्रेजेंटेशंस देख रहे हैं, केस स्टडीज देख रहे हैं। तो एक क्विक इंट्रोडक्शन हम चाहेंगे कि हमारे जो आज पैनलिस्ट हैं ये आपको एक दे दें अपना इंट्रोडक्शन, सो दैट वी नो who they are and what they are connected with, and then we go to each one.
Thank you so much. Hello. Thank you so much. I am Abhinav Gaur, Director, Baidyanath Group of Companies from Jhansi, and we've recently established a 100-acre Ayurvedic spiritual wellness retreat in Jhansi with the name of Shatam Jiva. So, जैसा बोलने का मौका आएगा उसके बाद मैं एक प्रेजेंटेशन के साथ आप लोगों को शतम जीवा के बारे में आगे बताऊंगा। थैंक यू।
Namaskar to everyone. Myself Dr. Gaurang Joshi. I am from Rajkot, Gujarat. I am the founder, director and international physician of Uttar Multi-Speciality Ayurveda Hospital, Research Center, Cancer Research Center and Panchakarma Hospital at Rajkot, Gujarat. जब मैं I will deliver my talk, I will share my PPT, what we are working, what are the super specialty we are having. So have patience for a few minutes. Thank you.
Namaskar. My name is Siten Norbu and I'm representing Namaste Dwar, Mansoorpur, Muzaffarnagar, Uttar Pradesh. Thank you.
This is Professor Yamini Bhushan Tripathi. I have been the Dean Faculty of Ayurveda at Banaras Hind University, and recently we have established a Swasthayu Wellness Nature Cure Center in Varanasi with the initiative of our dynamic Secretary of Ministry of Tourism, Ms. Ramji, and now we are going to take it off very soon.
Namaste everybody, it is a great pleasure to be here today. My name is Rajiv Vasudevan. I'm the founder and CEO of Ayurveda Hospitals, a chain of NABH accredited Ayurveda hospitals. I'll be sharing more on what we do in time to come.
नमस्कार, आई एम डॉक्टर पी कुमार। मैं डबल पीएचडी हूँ बिजनेस एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में और टूरिज्म में मैं अपना गढ़ मुक्तेश्वर के अंदर पुनर्जन्म आयुर्वेदा वेलनेस सेंटर एस्टेब्लिश कर रहा हूँ, जो मेरा 6 महीने में हो जाएगा। ये गढ़ मुक्तेश्वर में ब्रजघाट पे है। नमस्कार।
Hello all, I'm Dr. N. Manika. I'm an ecological consultant and scientific program officer with Flora Fauna Science Foundation. Thank you. Flora Fauna Science Foundation. And my focal area of work is conserving the biodiversity in ecotourism regions. Thank you.
So we start, thank you Dr. Manika. We start with Dr. Yamini Bhushan, who comes from the Banaras Hindu University and is talking about the gap in linking health and tourism.
Who is going to start it? The presentation? Good afternoon, everybody. I think the topic is very clear. Where is the gap? Because tourism is already existing, wellness is already there from ancient time. From the ancient time. But why this kind of conclave is required? I personally feel that tourism is in the driving seat. Wellness comes later on. And we have found that perception of the hotel tourism should change. Up till now, we are focusing on the cultural heritage, all these things, while linking our tourism. One gentleman is here from the Thomas Cook, and he should agree that most of the tourist groups are coming, and they are going to all the heritage places. Now the focus should change, that if you are coming to India, you should go for the wellness. But now, what is the wellness? Very important issue. There is another wrong conception for Ayurveda. Because I am a PhD in biochemistry, but I am working in Ayurveda since 1981. I joined BHU in 1981 as a faculty, and I am teaching these Ayurvedic graduates and postgraduates. So I have a deep interaction with these people. I have learned a lot. And my father was also a professor of Ayurveda in BHU. So I have inherited Ayurveda being a biochemist. So I have a different kind of feeling. What is the problem? That whole world has perceived Ayurveda as only a herbal medicine. When this alternative medicine came into existence by WHO and other organizations of the world, they started looking only for the drug. But this is not Ayurveda. Ashtanga Ayurveda, there are 8 branches, and 3 of them deals with non-prescription way of treatment. So in Ayurveda also says Ahar, Bihar, and Aushadhi. Only Aushadhi has been focused in the Ayurveda. That is the problem. Ahar, Vihar is now coming into existence, and for that the wellness is very important. And Ahar is also important. Vihar is the Panchakarma, everything will come in that, but Ahar is very important. We are neglecting Ahar. All the medicines are in your kitchen, but that knowledge is lacking. Who is give that knowledge? The perception of the hotel tourism, what I am saying, now there should be posters of Ayurvedic concept. Behind that, biochemical changes, because the modern students are not going to accept it just by blind faith. They have to be given a reason why this Panchakarma is important, why this naturopathy is important. Then only things will move. With this introduction, I dedicate all my lectures to my father, who was a very renowned professor of Ayurveda. And he told me, being a biochemist, work for Ayurveda. Because of him, I came into the Ayurvedic research in 1981. He said that Ayurveda is a science, and it can only be proved at the molecular level. Now you see the whole world, all molecular biologists are working for the Ayurvedic concept. The Nobel Prize of the last 4 years, from 1916 to 1918, came to the Ayurvedic concepts of Ayurveda. Either it is sleep, either it is Langan, whatever you talk about, everything has been discussed worldwide. We are lagging behind. India is lagging behind. What Modi ji says always, that prove it at the molecular level so world can accept. Publish in a good journal. Friends, this is the Swasthayu Wellness Nature Cure Center of Kashi, recently accepted by our Ministry of Tourism. It has been licensed. What is the USP of it? You can see that the disease is known to everybody. Diagnosis of disease is very important. We have given a USP of Nadi Pariksha, Prakrit Pariksha, Jyotish Pariksha, and allopathy. Allopathy is known because if you are having asthma, you have a different kind of set of tests you can do it. But Nadi Pariksha and Prakrit Pariksha and genetic, the constitution, these things has to be adopted, and we have adopted it because the Kashi has been the hub of Jyotish and spiritual healing also, so we have taken that. For the treatment part, we have gone to Ahar, Panchkar, Naturopathy, Yoga, Unani Homeopathy, Yagya Chikitsa, and Mantra Chikitsa. This has been given to Faculty of Oriental Sanskrit and Learning because they are the stakeholders of this, and many people are coming to Benares for this kind of thing. Now, what is wellness? Before I discuss the wellness, we should talk about, I will take only 2-3 minutes, we should talk about what is the human being. What is healthy human being? Balance between body, sense organs, man and soul. That equilibrium is called the wellness. And for that, yoga people always say the Panch Kosha is there, physical body, what do you call? Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vigyanmaya Kosha. These things are there. What I mean to say that every health system has taken something from Ayurveda, because Ayurveda has come from Veda. Veda is the knowledge origin. So the name has changed, but concept is the same. Whatever name you give, but this is only this thing. And then another important thing in this equilibrium, the Annamaya Kosha, everything has covered in this picture. And then, what is Pragyaparad? Maharshi Charak has said 66% of diseases are Pragyaparad. Pragyaparad means fight between man and Atma. Atma is always truth. He says truth, but man gives the conflicting ideas. So this is the difficulty, and that kind of perception will come from our wellness center. Because the mental health comes first, and then physical health. Psychosomatic disorders can be tackled if we tackle our brain. And this is one thing which is very much related to your naturopathy. All the 5 bhutas are there. They are making your body, Vata, Pitta and Kapha. They are making your mind, psychosomatic, Sattva, Raj and Tam. And all these rasas are there. So what I mean to say, this kind of posters should be put on the lobbies of the hotels. Then only people will come. They will understand it. They will come to hotel. And what is the health? Everybody knows. Use of regenerating food supplement, purification of body, control of the emotions, and use of the restricted diet and change lifestyle. So for these things, how we can develop in this, I think we have taken a challenge in starting our wellness center. One thing more very important, that you see how psychosomatic thing works. This kind of posters is very important for the society to understand what we are going to get if we adopt a tourism package for Kashi or for India or whatever. So the sense organs, then brain, then your gut. You see the relation between this? And if these 3 things are controlled, so Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha and Manomaya Kosha, all the 3 things are covered under it. So the Ahar and Vihar, Vihar will take care of all these 3 things. And then Ahar will come into the next step. So all the endocrine control is controlled by your sense organs with hypothalamus. So we have to be very careful how we are going to project the Ayurvedic knowledge into the tourism through these kind of pictures and literature. So rehabilitation is very important part that people are coming to India for rehabilitation, because the disease management is there one thing, then prevention of disease is another thing, and palliative care. After the disease happened, heart attack has happened, after that the cancer has happened. I was talking to Dr. Joshi. If the cancer has come, a recurrence should not come. The palliative care, post-disease management is very important. In this case, our wellness center can do wonderful. And this has to be advertised by the hotel tourism department. And this, the thing is, Deva Vyapashra, Yukti Vyapashra and Sattva Vajaya, there are 3 methods of the treatment of Ayurveda. And all the 3 things are covering Ashtanga Yoga, Yam, Niyam, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahara, Dharana, and Samadhi. So these three things are from Ayurveda. These has to be tackled. And yoga and the circadian rhythm cycle, you know, bhojan is important, but kalanam is very important. Kala bhojanam. When you eat, what you eat, and how much you eat. These three things has to be advocated in the society through the hotel management. You know, one thing, I always go to the hotels, I see there is a tea bag, coffee bag. We are not able to give anything ready which you can take as an alternative of this. These things has to come from your kitchen. These things has to come. And what Ayurveda says, Jat Ragni means the digestive power should be very important. That is the master Agni that has to be controlled. This is very important slide I want to show that for 100 years of life, Rasayan, different kind of Rasayanas has been described. This is from the Ashtanga Hridaya. I mean, the diet, food supplement has to be supported from these kind of literature. And very scientifically, they have said for the age of 41 to 50, there will be wrinkles, there will be eye problem. The Jyotishpati has been recommended. So the food supplement loaded with these rasayana has to be introduced in the kitchen. Very less expense, the hotel will take very less expense and they can add all these things to their recipes, to their cuisine. Then only we can go forward. Otherwise, remaining isolated as an Ayurvedic scholar, remaining isolated as a hotel management, nothing can be done. This overlap is important in the scientific manner. This is the thing. The main cause of Nijahari is, this is all thing. This kind of posters also, this is the citation which I made when I was in the delegation with Atal Bihari Vajpayee in the USA. I said the Hari Bari in curry is the problem. But everybody knows Hari Bari curry problem. But what is the science behind it? This is the cause of metabolic disorder. And the next slide shows, Next slide shows Hari Bari and curry, all the three things are producing very strong oxidative stress in your body. And oxidative stress means the detoxification is important. For detoxification, all the naturopathy, yoga, everything is there. But cause has to be removed. If the disease is there, the cause is there, disease cannot be cured. So Heal in India mission of our country can be achieved by educating these kind of posters in the hotel management. This is my take-home message of the day. Thank you very much, sir. My special thanks to Sushil Dubey ji and Mukesh Meshram ji for involving me from science to the hotel by this wellness business.
So a wonderful presentation and a lot of knowledge, I think, because there is lack of knowledge, in my opinion, which we have not been able to impart in the foreign countries. And we have been only projecting medical tourism in foreign countries, and that is one reason that we are unable to get so many medical tourists per se. जैसे पिछले सत्र में बात हो रही थी और डॉक्टर सूर्यकांत भी बता रहे थे, जब गुजराती लोग जो है वो बीमार पड़ते हैं यूएस में या यूके में, तो वो वापस इंडिया आते हैं, क्योंकि हर आदमी को जब वो बीमार होता है तो अपने घर की तलाश होती है. पर अगर हम उसको कनेक्ट कर दें, जो मॉडर्न मेडिकल साइंस है उसको अगर हम वेलनेस के साथ, हमारे नेचुरोपैथी के साथ, योग के साथ और जो ऑल्टरनेटिव मेडिसिन सिस्टम्स हैं उसको कनेक्ट कर दें और वो इन्फॉर्मेशन हम पार्ट करें दूसरे लोगों को, तो शायद हम काफ़ी ज़्यादा तादाद में अट्रैक्ट कर सकते हैं फॉरेन टूरिस्ट को भी इंडिया में, instead of just projecting India as a medical tourist destination. So now may I request Dr. Gurang Joshi, who is talking about the importance of Ayurveda in wellness tourism in the state of UP particularly.
Good afternoon, everyone. At the outset, first of all, I would like to congratulate the entire team of Ministry of Tourism and for organizing such a wonderful event on this Wellness Tourism Conclave. Myself, Dr. Gaurang Joshi. I am from Rajkot, Gujarat. We are having multi-speciality Ayurveda hospital, cancer research center, Panchakarma and skin care hospital. Friends, there are lots of junior doctors are here, and I am here to motivate them, you also, because when I'm talking about Ayurveda, I always try to motivate the junior doctors to be continue with the Ayurvedic practice. When we started with my wife, Dr. Bhavna, she is also MD Ayurveda and expert in cancer. She is also a professor in Indian Institute of Ayurveda and Research and Hospital at Rajkot. In essence, the very premise of Ayurveda is that the entire cosmos is part of one singular absolute being. Therefore, everything that exists in the vast external universe, the macrocosm, also appears in the internal cosmos of the human body, the microcosm. So, welcome to the world of Atharva Ayurveda India. When we started Atharva Ayurveda, we have the concept of super speciality. We started our exclusive practice in skin diseases, cancer, autoimmune diseases and Panchakarma. And it was very new at that time. Nobody thought that the super speciality is the only branch, is the only possible in the allopathy medicines, but we started. We are having key features and super speciality of Ayurvedic dermatology. Disease like psoriasis, vitiligo, lichen planus, eczema, all these chronic skin diseases. Ayurveda oncology, all types of cancer. Panchakarma treatment. Ayurveda International Academy, we are also running an academy, Global Atharva Academy of Ayurveda. Online video and audio consultation and online education. The thing is that we are working exclusively in skin disease and cancer. For cancer, we are working, when we are practicing in cancer, you know, we require integration of allopathy medicine and with Ayurveda, because cancer is a different modality. Three aspects we are working. First is we are working with the patients, those who are having cancer. If they are on any treatment of radiotherapy, chemotherapy, or post-surgical complications, we are working in that area for the management of side effects of chemotherapy, radiotherapy. Second most important, that is palliative management. Palliative management is also a very important aspect of oncology, cancer patients. When patient in very terminal stage, there is not a single oncologist want to treat or attend that patient. We at Atharva Ayurveda, we are doing that. We are running hospice center for the terminal stage patients of the cancer. And third, most important, after all the conventional treatment and all the integrated treatment, if the patient is survived with chemotherapy, radiotherapy or post-surgery, then there is always chance of recurrence of cancer. So here, the role of prevention, by following some diet, lifestyle and some Ayurvedic herbs, patient can survive easily from the recurrence. So these are the super speciality. Also, we are working in the field of skin speciality, chronic skin disease like psoriasis, lichen planus, eczema, all these chronic skin patients, they are coming to us with lots of hopes in Ayurveda. So this is my profile. I have visited more than 14 countries for the promotion and propagation of Ayurveda. This is my wife, Dr. Bhavna. She is MD Ayurveda, gold medalist. And she was the first whose thesis was on cancer from Gujarat Ayurveda University. Now, we need to know why Ayurveda is very important in the aspect of this wellness tourism. The goal of treatment is cleanse your body of undigested food which can stay in your body and lead to illness. So prevention The two main goals of Ayurveda, swasthasya swastha rakshanam, means prevention is the first aim of Ayurveda. The cleansing process called Panchakarma is designed to reduce your symptoms and restore harmony and balance. Ayurveda recommends workouts like yoga, brisk walking, jogging, training, the muscular for increasing immunity, flexibility and endurance in the body. A 15 to 20 minutes walk in the morning as well as in the evening is good for the patient with joint pain and complaints of arthritis. So, Ayurveda is complete science of life. We are treating the patient not only with the medicine. The first line of treatment is the Nidana Parivarjanam, means to avoid causative factor, and the first goal is the prevention. So that's why Ayurveda is the very important and can play a big role in this wellness tourism. Now, benefits of Ayurveda: weight loss, maintenance, a healthy diet, modification in lifestyle and habits through Ayurvedic treatments help shed excess body fat, healthy and glowing skin and hair. Say goodbye to stress. After COVID, everybody knows the demand and queries for the Ayurveda is raised globally, not in India. Everywhere people are looking for the Ayurveda and some traditional medicine. And Ayurveda has proved that the mortality of COVID was very high in India, but with this traditional medicine, with the help of all these things, we have managed it successfully. Reduce inflammation, cleanse the body, lower blood pressure, cholesterol, symptoms of illness and diseases. Now, how big the Ayurveda industry in India, that is also one of the important aspects when we are talking about this wellness tourism. The Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha, Showa Rigpa and Homeopathy, that is total Ayush industry, in the country has been seeing a good growth in the last few years and is expected to grow to $23.3 billion size in the year 2022. So how promising is this industry? Now, how Ayurveda can change your life? Ayurveda provides the tools we need to understand what is health, what can we do to support it. We learn what we can do every day and what decisions we are constantly making which impact on our health. Ayurveda calls each and every one of us to take our power and claim our ability to manifest a healthy life. So health is wealth. That is proved in last 2 years. Wellness tourism is a term used to describe the rapidly growing practice of traveling across international borders to seek wellness and medical services. Services typically sought by travelers include elective and essential procedures as well as complex surgeries. India attracts patients from all over the world, and particularly we are not a big player in the field of Ayurveda because we don't have a big centers, but still we are treating the patient across the world. Patients from many parts of the world, they are coming to Rajkot for the super specialty treatment like cancer, skin disease, autoimmune diseases like this. Wellness tourism is defined by the US-based non-profit Global Wellness Institute as travel associated with the pursuit of maintaining or enhancing one's personal well-being. And now this is a very well action has been taken by the Ministry of Tourism, including Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, and all this traditional medicine for the well-being and for the prevention of the disease by this Uttar Pradesh tourism. I acknowledge and appreciate the efforts by the ministry and our director, chairman, Mesramji, for this great event. Wellness tourism, why it is important, is travel for the purpose of promoting health and well-being through physical, psychological, and spiritual activities. Wellness tourism is often correlated with the medical tourism because health interest motivates the traveler. But since last 2 years, if you noticed, after these 2 years, this Chardham Yatra, Badrinath, Kedarnath, the highest number of tourists has visited this place. Why? People are in search of spiritual wellness. Those who survived from the COVID, they maximum visited these sites. People want to get rid of the stress. So stress management, wellness management, everything, people are looking the option, and Ayurveda can provide the best option for this Ayurveda tourism and wellness tourism. In a controlled atmosphere, what is Ayurvedic tourism? Now I'm talking about. Accompanied by the people suffering from similar maladies, the patient realizes the importance and techniques of lifestyle management. Offshoots of Ayurvedic treatments such as meditation, yoga, Reiki are also facilitated by the way of tourism triggered by the purpose of Ayurvedic treatment. Now, what is the difference between the medical tourism and wellness tourism? That is also we need to know. Medical tourism involves people traveling expressly to access medical treatment. People travel for wellness to maintain or enhance their personal health and well-being. And wellness services focus on healing, relaxation, or beautifying of the body. That is preventive and or curative in nature. Now, what are the types of wellness tourism? That is also important. The Global Wellness Institute splits the wellness tourism market in two types of travelers. Primary wellness travelers, those who are primarily motivated by the wellness to take a trip. And secondary wellness travelers, those who want to maintain wellness or participate in the wellness activities during any kind of travel. And Uttar Pradesh is one of the biggest tourist destinations. In the morning, we listened about all this tourist place of Uttar Pradesh, and that is why there is a big and huge opportunity to develop this tourism, wellness tourism in Uttar Pradesh. And why Ayurveda is popular in India? Ayurveda is an alternative medicine that is now not alternative, now it's coming as a mainstream medicine with historical roots in India. The Indian wellness and Ayurveda industries go hand in hand. Ayurveda is globally acclaimed for its preventive healthcare and properties treatment of many chronic lifestyle disorders. That's why it is popular. Modern Indian society recognizes Ayurveda as a legitimate medical system. In the morning, Dr. Suryakant Tripathi ji also spoke about all these things. Practitioners receive the state license, institutional medical training. Approximately 2/3 of the India's rural people, who comprise 70% of the population, use Ayurveda for their primary healthcare needs. So what aspect does Ayurveda take into account? Its primarily emphasis is on prevention of the disease and maintenance of the health. It also provides the treatment for disease. Ayurveda translates as the science of life, and it is address all aspects of life, including consciousness, mind, physiology, behavior, and environment. So India's emerging wellness tourism market, rising consumer awareness about health and wellness. Second, acceptance by mainstream Western medicine. Increasing demand for natural products. Global shift in medical towards preventive practice. Demand for Ayurvedic cosmetic products. The population of anti-aging and anti-wrinkle creams, these are the demands. And that's why India is an emerging market for wellness tourism. So we are Atharva, global leader in Ayurveda research. We are also conducting few research in cancer, skin diseases. This is our consultation area. People across the globe, patients across the globe, they are coming for the treatment at Atharva Ayurveda. This is our facility. This is our Panchakarma theatre. Various procedures at Atharva Ayurveda. We are also running academy. Students from various parts of the world, they are coming to learn Ayurveda at Atharva Ayurveda. Students from Spain, Germany, Colombia, Italy, Spain, Brazil, Argentina, from all over the world, they are coming to learn the Ayurveda. That is the claim of Ayurveda, that people now across the globe want Ayurveda as a mainstream medicine. So these are all the people, those who have visited Ayurveda, Atharva Ayurveda, we are doing online consultation, online education. Now, evidence-based Ayurveda, that is very important. Being the Ayurveda physician, people want data, what we are doing, how we are curing the patients. You can see this psoriasis patient. Before treatment, after treatment, pictures are there. So we also need to focus what are the curative aspects of Ayurveda, particularly when we are practicing. See, this is the case of vitiligo. You can see the result. We are also visiting various countries, and these are the pictures from Bogota, Colombia. Conducting workshop also. Consultation at USA. Invited as a speaker in many congress and many conferences. This was from London. This is NAMA, National Ayurvedic Medical Association, USA. Some achievements, some awards. We are having some products with the Green Tree Botanicals, Oncotel powder, Viticare powder, OA care, RA care, Obese care. So we are having our product range also. We are also recognized by International Board of Medicine and Surgery, USA. This is the book written by me, Ayurveda, the Science of Life. We are having one foundation, that is Atharva Life Science Academic and Research Foundation, propagating Ayurveda globally, research activities in Ayurveda, academic activities globally, and empowering Ayurveda globally. So, thank you one and all for inviting me. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Dr. Joshi. I think the growth rate of the wellness tourism is about 12%. What I was reading, it's the compounding growth rate. And the data that Dr. Joshi has shown, it has doubled in just 5 years. And more so post-COVID, when people are looking at the natural healing systems and the wellness therapies. So that is a great thing. And the seriousness of our government can be gauged by the fact that the government of India is soon introducing the visa for Ayush treatments. So it was only for the medical tourists, for the medical reasons in the modern medicine system. But now, very soon, I think in another month or so, it will be notified that we'll be having a visa for the visiting tourists who want to come in. So good news for all the wellness centers. We now have Dr. Rajiv Vasudevan, who runs Ayurveda hospitals in Bangalore, and he's doing a presentation on the strategic roadmap of the wellness in Uttar Pradesh.
Chairman Mr. Prateek Hera, Principal Secretary Mr. Mukesh Mishra, dignitaries, my co-panelists, and all the attendees here today. In the time allotted to me, I'm going to quickly go and talk about what I believe could be the steps towards developing a strategic roadmap for wellness tourism. I come very precisely from a position which is into pure Ayurveda, and it is from that lens that I will be talking, whatever I'll be talking about. So, the aim of the conclave, as was told in the document shared with me, was to create a roadmap for wellness, spiritual relaxation and community-based tourism in UP. What I'm intending to do is to delineate the approach to an integrated strategy for development of the sector, taking into account the larger set of human, social, and economic goals of the state, approaching it synergistically, not only from the point of view of tourism, but all other co-dependent and interrelated departments, right? And what could be possible next steps in this regard. My introduction, we run a chain of Ayurveda hospitals, pure Ayurveda hospitals, 8 of them across Kerala, Bangalore, Almora, and Gurgaon. 4 of them are within leading quaternary care hospitals, Medanta in Gurgaon, Aster MedCity, Aster CMI, and Sri Shankara Cancer Care. You can see the names here: Medanta Ayurved Center for Integrative Medicine, Sri Shankara Ayurved Center for Integrative Oncology, and so on. Out of the 8, 5 are NABH accredited. We are the only National Quality Award winner. We are the only JCI, American Standards Approved Ayurveda hospital. So the whole idea being to tell here that, and one key thing I would say, whether it is wellness or it is medical care, we have to understand we are still treating human beings and patients. Quality is extremely important. Just because it is wellness does not mean I do some tail malish, do some oil pouring and put into a pond and then say, this is wellness. Whatever we do, safety, quality is extremely important. Over a period of time, we have won most of the credible national and international awards, including selected by Harvard Business School, Harvard School of Public Health, the first NABH accredited hospital, and so on. This is the introduction to us, but looking at well-being, and Mr. Meshram, it's important to understand that Prime Minister Modi, in his budget speech this year, rather than use the word wellness, which is part of many policy documents, use the word well-being. I think it's important to take that word because I think it gives us a chance to go beyond the superficial wellness, which is purely physical, transactional in approach. So this is the sloka which my illustrious co-panelists spoke about earlier, that when we talk about well-being, it is not the absence of disease, it is the presence of positive health. What do we mean by that? So the sloka, which goes back to Shushruta Acharya from Varanasi, as we came to know, 2,600 years back. Samadosha, Samagnischa, Samadhatu Malakriya, Prasanna Atma Indriya Manaha, Swastha Iti Abhidhiyate. Means a healthy person in well-being is this total co-presence. It's not one and the absence of the other. The totality of all of this coming together. That's the opportunity that Ayurveda actually offers along with yoga. So we have to understand that it is a tremendous opportunity not to be reduced to just a massage therapy. We also need to understand when we look at healthcare spectrum, because tourism can directly be concerned with this thing. When we talk of curative care, whether we are talking about, and I'll go into some detail here, or acute emergency care. See, medical tourism, Mr. Pratik spoke about, and even the earlier doctor from King George Hospital spoke about medical tourism, and the fact that what can Ayurveda play in that entire spectrum of care. And I think what I'm going to show here is that across the health spectrum, from pre-emergency to post-emergency, preventive, across mainstream diseases, Ayurveda can play an extremely important role. And the diseases we mention here are a chain of multi-specialty hospitals. We treat all of these. We have patients coming, and I want to tell that we are insurance approved, CGH is approved, which means people come and spend serious money. Insurance companies approve it based on a protocol-based, very thorough medical care. The same rigor is required also in wellness. So when we look at Ayurveda, esteemed Professor Yamini Bhushan Tripathi spoke about not just diet, not just medicine, but diet lifestyle. But to take it further, Ayurveda has to be seen as a Chikitsa Sampradaya. Why I bring this up? Because in a very ancient civilization of this part of India, I think it's important to restate that Ayurveda is not just one or the other. It's Ahara, Vihara, Vichara, Aushadha, and Kriyakrama. When you take this together, and you can bring in yoga also for not the physical part, but the spiritual, mental spiritual part. When you bring this together, the most personalized system of medicine the world has ever seen. So when we look at Ayurveda healthcare formats, and we see it from the point of view of wellness, I would like to say we should separate it out. This word means different things to different people, and we should not mix it all up and say Ayurveda is one thing. So you can have leisure wellness, which is a typical massage thing. Imagine a charter flight coming in, and from a tourism department angle, I would say, if you look at many centers in Kerala, you would have people who would come and do treatments in an assembly line, right? 20 treatments, 20 treatment rooms, do it, and the next batch and the next batch. When you go away from that and you look at the next one, which is therapeutic well-being, which is the next step of rigor, where the duration of stay is from 3 days to 10 days. And then you have Ayurveda medical services. So this is the tiering that one can bring in, even in tourism. When I say tourism, it means to attract people from outside of UP into UP. And when we talk about the Purva Karmas, which are the preparatory therapies, the Pradhana Karmas, and the Brahmana Karmas, the nourishing therapies which follow the main Panchakarma. So when you talk of Panchakarma, we have to understand what is happening typically in the space of wellness is the Purva Karma, which is just superficial. It does not really go beyond the skin depth. So if you want lasting wellness and well-being, we have to do this very thorough personalized care. And that's what Ayurveda brings in terms of personalization. I have not listed here the very specialized things for example, computer vision syndrome. Ayurveda, out of its 8 specialties, main Ashtanga Ayurveda, and then today there are about 16 to 18 PG specialties, as we all know. All these specialties, we are talking about doing very specialized treatments for different parts of the body and different segments of the population. So I added the slide because I heard earlier today that a large NRI population comes back to Gujarat, right? It comes to other places as well. This is an interesting data from the Ministry of Commerce. See, what happens in the medical value travel segment, Mr. Prateek, is that it is a misunderstanding to imagine that the people who come to India today for medical value travel, medical tourism, are largely from underdeveloped countries. Whereas the people who come from the developed markets like the US, Europe, and Japan, they come for Ayurveda and yoga. So this is an extremely good opportunity that we are able to reach across to the OECD nations, bring those people in. In Kerala today, out of an estimated 10,000 crore revenue for the tourism market, 30%, this is Department of Tourism data, 30% is directly Ayurveda, right? But people are coming in for a larger purpose. But Ayurveda is the cornerstone of why they're coming in. So why I'm mentioning this, Ayurveda is number 4 of 5 on the top reasons for people to come back to India for treatment. Yoga is there. This data is from 2015. It is not completely current. I'm quite sure with the Ayush visa and all that, we'll get much more accurate data. But this is illustrative of the potential of Ayurveda tourism. So I also want to link in that you cannot have leapfrog and create a wellness destination unless we create Uttar Pradesh as a strong place for Ayurveda medical care. You can't create something in isolation. Why Kerala is very successful or Karnataka is very successful in this type of tourism is because they have very good educational institutions, very good human resources. If we don't invest in the state, yesterday I happened to visit the state government Ayurveda Medical College in Lucknow, right? And I happened to visit a center of excellence, the Center for Arthritis Treatment and Advanced Research, okay, run by a very esteemed Ayurveda Vaidya called Dr. Sanjeev Rastogi, right, MD, PhD. He gets every day 60 to 120 patients of muscle bone joint conditions, serious patients coming for care. One thing he mentioned, before the COVID pandemic, people were coming in a late stage. Today they come of all socioeconomic strata, they come early in the illness stage. So Ayurveda is really capturing the public imagination. We need to link up into a larger public health strategy. So in what context do we bring this? The National Health Policy is talking about a pluralistic health system. NABH accreditation, which is required for quality, is there for inpatient hospitals, outpatient hospitals, wellness centers and clinics. All of this should be really pushed in Uttar Pradesh. As the doctor in the earlier session from King George mentioned that when you look for Ayurveda centers in Uttar Pradesh, you don't find too many. There are very few wellness centers, very few hospitals. So that is the real opportunity. And we have to understand that it is relatively low capex. Can we just wait till this is over, please? Mr. Meshram, can we just wait till this is over? Can you ask him to wait till yeah. So the fact that many state governments also cover it for their employees, today CGHS covers, and the Indian Defence has also recently brought it under their the scope of coverage. So Heal in India, which is the flagship program of the Government of India, I think would be a very good nara to take up for Uttar Pradesh. And therefore it is very important to move away from the spa type of Ayurveda which is being imagined by people to look at a robust, scientific, preventive, curative, promotive system of healthcare. So, my last two slides, I'll conclude with this. If you look at a cross-sector context for Ayush, for medical wellness travel policy formulation, we need to look at the fact that there is a domestic potential not just from within UP, not just from abroad, but also from within India. Look at the adjoining states, look at Nepal. There's a huge employment generation possibility. Vocational training for caregivers, professional training for 3,200, I estimated, Ayurveda doctors who are passing out every year, who are looking for gainful employment. They'll get a wonderful opportunity to work in their home state if this is channelized properly. Tribal to urban people can be trained into caregiving. A time-bound plan should be taken up because without this, any other plan that you take up is not going to work. I'm making it very blunt and simple. The Ayurveda colleges in the state have to be upgraded, focused on the BHU, Institute of Medical Sciences, which is one of the legacy, very, world-famous centers, should be turned into a center of excellence. It's an institute of national importance, I'm aware, but specifically the Ayurveda department should be turned into a center of excellence. The state government Ayurveda college in Lucknow as a COE, center of excellence. Select other government and private colleges, few select private, to do, because there are 64 Ayurveda colleges, but where are the people? We need to look at an integrated public health system with nutrition, women, and child development. My recommendations: high-end Ayurveda and yoga healing retreats at Varanasi, Ayodhya, Agra, Mathura, and Kushinagar. Why I'm bringing this up is that let's not think that people are coming for a half-day treatment or one massage and going. People, as one speaker spoke earlier, we're looking at people who will come and spend a month, 3 weeks to a month, for proper treatment. High-value treatment, where you can see that today, where a massage will fetch you just $50, $30, right? We're talking about $500 per day, that type of model, high-end models. One should also look at, and that PPP mode, I looked at the schemes from the tourism department, very good schemes, I should compliment you. I made the slides before that, so I think this is certainly worth looking at, the capital subsidy scheme that you have. But an Ayurveda hospital at Noida, because it's adjoining Delhi NCR, it's part of Delhi NCR, attracts the IT crowd with insurance, so the government should really look at establishing a minimum threshold level of infrastructure, which becomes a basis for a growth. Include Ayurveda and unite Uttar Pradesh's state government health service, upgrade the two government colleges, skills development programs across the sector. As you know, in tourism, skills development is very important. Bring in this factor also. Include Ayurveda hospitals. Currently, I think it is there for wellness centers. Include Ayurveda hospitals in the schemes of tourism so that automatically they can come and set up. Strategic Marcom and marketing communications and PR is required for the state. It cannot be average because there are many other states doing different things. So how do you position Uttar Pradesh as a destination for, I don't like the word wellness, but anyway, the well-being, but overall high quality well-being care, right? So with this, to sum up, Ayurveda has transitioned from a sparse setting to a full spectrum system of healthcare for preventive, curative, and promotive health. A 5-year plan should be developed on this basis, a strategic weapon. Again, I say it can be a breakthrough for Uttar Pradesh with its spiritual places, its natural places. But let's not mix up that natural is Ayurveda. That's not the point. So many things are natural. The key thing is people want genuine, authentic, robust, rigorous services. We should attract those people and 5-year plan to reposition Uttar Pradesh as a health and well-being destination. I conclude. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Wonderful presentation and great roadmap that you have suggested to the government of UP. Or Mr. Meshram ka kaam aapne aasan kar diya, so he has a lot to work on this now. Homework de diya sir aapko inhone. So UP will take clues from this and definitely include this in their upcoming policy where we are about to take wellness as the thrust, one of the thrust areas. And the takeaway, of course, from your presentation is that this can attract high-value tourists. So when we are talking about medical tourism, we are attracting tourists from Bangladesh, Afghanistan, and Pakistan, which is a low-paying market. So, and with the reasons that they don't have the kind of medical facilities that we have in India. But when we are talking about wellness, holistic, naturopathy, yoga, and other alternative medicines, we are able to attract tourists from countries, traditional markets like the Europe and the US, and high-paying market, and for a long stay, so which translates into a good revenue. So now we go on to Mrs. Norbu, who runs a very interesting Namaste Dwar village in Muzaffarnagar in our very own Uttar Pradesh. So, Mrs. Norbu.
Namaskar. I'm temporarily a little challenged, so I've asked my colleague to help me with the slides. So, how many of you know about Mansoorpur? Do you know Mansoorpur? I can only see 2 hands raised over here. Yeah. So, Mansoorpur is a small village in the district of Muzaffarnagar, Uttar Pradesh. And this is Namaste Dwar. Thank you. Namaste Dwar is the mission and the passion of one individual who left everything in the cities and went back to his village called Mansoorpur to create this beauty. These are the structure of Namaste Dwar. That's our main building, the reception, the rooms. Everything is aligned to the ecosystem of that place. We have not disturbed anything. In the beginning, when Mr. Rathi, the owner, told his friends and family that I'm going to build something in Mansoorpur, they told him, "Aap pagal to nahi ho gaye ho? You're going to a village to make this thing." Nobody could believe that he could create this. And today, it stands here very proud, and a very, very proud thing for Uttar Pradesh. These are the bricks that we have used, called Lakhori bricks. These are handmade with karigars of Uttar Pradesh. Everything in Namaste Dwar everything is sourced from Uttar Pradesh. Our jali work. Now we've talked about Kerala, we talked about the other states, and our distinguished guests have given us a lot of knowledge. We still have a lot to learn. But please look at the pictures. We have brought Kerala into Uttar Pradesh. This is our Uttar Pradesh. We have organic gardens, we have our own Havan Kund, and we have created our own Ganga Aarti at the Ganga Naher, which is close by. And we are working closely with the Ganga Samiti people there, Ganga Naher, to maintain the sanctity and the sacredness of Ma Ganga. So these are all our partners at Namaste Dwar, the campus. We have Haldiram, all these other these entities. Then we also have our own Sattvic kitchen, which a lot of our distinguished guests were talking about, healthy eating. The next slide, please. These are our corporate partners. We've had HCL Google, STM Electronics from Noida. We have Soul Traveler from South Africa. We have COO of Zevar Airport. We have Ms. Priti Chadda's retreat, and we have HCL Cloud Smart. So this is a real example for all of us that yes, within such a short time, we opened in November 2021, a soft opening, but within this time we are able to achieve and partner with all these distinguished people. That means we can do it. We can, Uttar Pradesh can do it, and Uttar Pradesh will be on the wellness map in the very near future. So now I would like to go on to our main presentation. The Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, and our esteemed Chief Minister, Shri Yogi Adityanath, have on several occasions emphasized on the importance of Gramin Vikas Prathmikta for the holistic development of rural India. The mission is to achieve a poverty-free, empowered Gram Panchayat and to generate employment revenues in a sustained manner. Spurred and enthused by this vision, Arvind Rathi embarked on a journey to his roots with a mission of creating a landmark destination for his village of Mansoorpur, Muzaffarnagar, UP. From this shared vision, Namaste Dwar, the gateway to rural India, was built with the purpose of promoting rural and wellness tourism in Uttar Pradesh. Special emphasis was placed on conserving the cultural heritage of UP in its art, architecture, and along with being an eco-friendly and socially responsible property, Namaste Dwar is fully aligned with the vision of the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh for a new India. It is also important to mention that Shri Yogi Adityanath, Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, has announced that his state is aiming to become the spiritual and wellness hub of this country. And why not? We have Kashi, we have Ayodhya, we have Kushinagar, we have Varanasi, and we are connected. We are connected with Zawar Airport, will be coming up soon. We are connected by super highways. And yes, we are on our way to become the cultural and the spiritual hub of India. Located at a midway point between Delhi and Haridwar on the National Highway 58, this facility is situated to connect people living in the urban areas to the countryside. With the sincere intent to preserve and revive the ancient healing practices of India, this wellness resort has already transformed the lives of many guests, which is evident by the number of positive testimonials and our repeat customers. Moreover, due to the large-scale operation, Namaste Dwar campus has transformed the locality and created employment opportunities for more than 400 people, elevating the quality of living of hundreds of families in and around Mansoorpur, Meerut, and Muzaffarnagar. And you can see in the pictures about the making of Namaste Dwar. Everything is hand-painted, handmade by local karigars of Uttar Pradesh. And we are very, very proud to say that Namaste Dwar campus is one of the highest tax-paying entities to the Government of India, located in a local environment. Furthermore, Namaste Dwar is the final masterpiece of the late architect Shri Pradeep Sachdeva, also a son of UP. He was from Meerut. Keeping the environment in mind, the entire facility is built, hand-painted by local karigars, using indigenous materials. The architecture of Namaste Dwar draws inspiration from the older buildings of Uttar Pradesh. The brickwork uses Lakori bricks, as I mentioned earlier. Also, we are very proud to mention that everything that is used for and within the resort has been sourced from India, contributing to the Make in India initiative, Atmanirbhar Bharat. Furthermore, we have placed emphasis on sourcing items from rural sectors to further promote rural development, which is why we have collected items from all over rural India for your viewing. Our guest rooms are glazed with khurja. Wood carvings and our furniture are from Saharanpur. Our mirrors and our chandeliers, all our lightworks, are from Firozabad. We received exclusive permission to showcase the framed photography of Raja Deen Dayal, also another eminent son of UP. Having been born near Namaste Dwar in Sardana, Meerut, Raja Deen Dayal is an important part of Uttar Pradesh's history as well. Finished. Yeah. Further demonstrating the distinctive artistic and cultural strength of this state. The call of our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, and our Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Yogi Adityanath, with Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, and Sabka Vishwas, to revolutionize the growth of India to the next level is the motto followed by Namaste Dwar. I would like to end here with a very small slide called, a small presentation called Mehman-e-Nawaz. Thank you.
आप भी तो जानते हैं ये हमारे दिल का राज, आप भी तो जानते हैं ये हमारे दिल का राज। आप हैं मेहमान हमारे और हम मेहमान नवाज। आपके आने से पहले ही हमें ये फिक्र थी, आपकी खातिर में हम रखेंगे दिल और जान को। आप आए हैं तो है खुशकिस्मती अपनी जनाब, हम न क्यों नजरों में रखें आपसे मेहमान को। आपकी खातिर में हम रखेंगे दिल और जान को। आपकी नजरों के मध्यम से इशारे को समझ आपकी हर एक ख्वाहिश का करें हम एहतराम। आपके कहने से पहले ही समझ लेते हैं हम, आप हमसे चाहते हैं कैसी खिदमत कैसा काम। अजनबी थे आप बेशक जब यहां आए थे आप, अजनबी थे आप बेशक जब यहां आए थे आप, लेकिन अब तो चल पड़ा है दोस्ती का सिलसिला। हम ये चाहेंगे कि यूं ही उम्र भर चलता रहे मुस्कुराहट का, मसरत का, खुशी का सिलसिला। आप हैं मेहमान और हर एक मेहमान की तरह आप भी हो जाएंगे रुखसत, हमें एहसास है। लेकिन उसकी खुशनुमा यादें भी लेकर जाइए, प्यार का, खिदमत का जो जज्बा हमारे पास है। आप भी तो जानते हैं ये हमारे दिल का राज। आप हैं मेहमान हमारे और हम मेहमान नवाज।
Thank you, Mrs. Norgu. Wonderful presentation and the facility. We are proud to be now a UPite after seeing this. And we have Mr. Abhinav Gaur as well with us, who is of course from the Baidyanath, but he's working on a very unique concept. So we would like Mr. Abhinav to tell us something about that. We are just short of time, and so we just request you to do it a little fast.
Yeah, I'll make it quick. आप सभी महानुभावों का नमस्कार करता हूँ। मुकेश जी, thank you so much for inviting us. I will not take much of your time. हमारी बैद्यनाथ की एक स्लोगन है, 100 साल के युवा की कहानी अपनी जुबानी. So Baidyanath has been pioneers in Ayurvedic medicines for about 100 years. और उसी के एक्सटेंशन में हम लोगों ने बैद्यनाथ को आगे ले जाते हुए, इस लेगेसी को आगे ले जाते हुए शतम जीवा नाम के कंसेप्ट को जन्म दिया है. डॉक्टर श्री, कैन यू प्लीज टेक द स्टेज. शतम जीवा नाम के कंसेप्ट को जन्म दिया है. शतम जीवा का अर्थ होता है 100 वर्ष जीना. जो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ उत्तर प्रदेश अभी इतना अच्छा स्टेप इन लोगों ने लिया है, उसके लिए मैं बहुत बहुत सराहना करता हूँ. और जो स्लोगन्स आप यहाँ पर देख रहे हैं, स्पिरिचुअल, इमोशनल, फाइनेंशियल, भौतिक, इन्वायरमेंटल, इंटेलेक्चुअल, ये सभी आयुर्वेद और वेलनेस का एक पार्ट है जो शतम जीवा में इनकॉर्पोरेटेड है. मुझे बहुत खुशी हो रही है डॉक्टर श्रीरंग को प्रेजेंट करते हुए. What we have tried to do in Shatam Jiva is bring Kerala to you. You don't have to go to Kerala. Kerala is here. Dr. Srirang Nair itself is from South India. और एक छोटा सा प्रेजेंटेशन आप लोगों को शतम जीवा का डॉक्टर श्रीरंग अब दिखाएंगे. I will not take much of your time. Thank you.
Hello. Dear ladies and gentlemen and respectful dignitaries at the dais, Shatam Jiva Pranam, that's how we wish all our guests who comes into our property. So it gives me immense pleasure and pride to introduce our property in Jhansi, which we all are trying towards the wellness mapping in Uttar Pradesh. So I'm very, very happy and delighted that we are already a step ahead with this project by introducing this beautiful land of healing. So while speaking about Shatam Jiva, as the image you see, so this property is nestled in 100 acres of man-made forest. Thank you very much to our beloved Sharma family for making it such a beautiful place for great ecosystem where none of the trees or the branches were chopped to build this retreat. And I've heard the previous speakers and the distinguished guests speaking about recreating Kerala. That's exactly what we have done too. And as Mr. Abhinav have introduced, I'm also from Kerala. And all the architect, all the concept, and as Mr. Vasudevan also said, Ayurveda is not just a massage, or Ayurveda is not just a cosmetology, what you see in ads. We are undertaking serious therapies, including Panchakarma, to help and heal the mankind. The vision and the emotion behind the birth of Shatam Jiva is the thought of the Sharma family post-COVID to do something in Ayurveda greater and beyond the products. So with 103 years of experience and life in Ayurveda, we have come up with Shatam Jiva. So in Shatam Jiva, what we preach our guest is very simple living, where presently all of us, I'm sure many of us or our houses doesn't have a timepiece because time is limited to the mobile now. Alarms are limited to the mobile. So our life is almost limited to as small as the gadget we use. That is what we want to break. As in 3 Idiots movie, they say life is a race. Only the principal says so. We also say life is not a race. This is certainly everyone have to reach somewhere, their own destination, and taking a pause or using the science and technology to the way it has to be, that will nourish our mankind. That will certainly extend our lifespan. In Ayurveda, the normal lifespan of a person was told to be 100 years, but currently it is struggling between 45 and 50. That is what and that is where we want to make the change with Shatam Jiva, where we wish all our guests or patients, whatever we call it, the clients, to live 100 years and enjoy their life with full wellness and energy. And with the concept, so I've just explained about the Sharma family and the concept. So this is our beautiful land. Well, we have Ayurveda, yoga. So the motto of getting into this alternative sciences or Ayurveda and yoga is getting physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Now, what makes us unique is with all the activities which is inclined towards the spirituality. We have a mandir inside the property. We have a Gaushala inside the property. As ma'am was just explaining, we too have a Havanstan as well in the property. And with all these things, we are not saying that spirituality is leaving our family or people away and going into one, going alone. Spirituality is certainly connecting to yourself, connecting to the cosmos, and then you use and you take care of your body. As Lord Shiva have told to Parvati Mata, Sharirameva Khalidharma Sadhanam. That's what we are also telling to all our people, all our guests, that if God have given you all the limbs, all the organs, it is certainly our responsibility to take care of it. And certainly it is, we are accountable for each and everything what we eat, what we do in life. So as Ayurveda say, a proper ahar and vihar is what we preach our guest. Certainly our day at Shatam Jiva starts with yoga, ends with meditation, with Om chanting, and throughout the day it is Mahamrityunjaya Mantra chanting and Om chanting which happens with the resonating power, the healing power. That is what we are expressing out to our guest. And with the facilities, even though we go for simple living, we haven't compromised with any of the premium facilities, any of the comfort factor which for our guest. So these are our common areas. I would certainly with pride welcome all of you to our beautiful piece of land, and let's pray to build everyone to be a Shatam Jeevi, to enjoy 100 years of life. And moreover, I would like to thank each one of you, because I could see many aprons, doctors sitting here. So you all have helped us to gather again post-COVID. My big applaud for that, for fighting back the COVID situation, and our former speakers have explained how UP have fought this. Also, I would like to thank all the coordinators, especially the UP Tourism, to start up, to initiate this process, and I'm wishing myself, all of you, and UP to be a greatest wellness hub of India, and many, many congratulations for all of you who's already on the way, and my best wishes. Thank you.
Thank you, and wonderful property near Jhansi, again another place in our own Uttar Pradesh. We have Dr. N. Manika, who has worked extensively in the Terai region of UP. So just a quick input from you, that how do you integrate the tourism and wellness in the region of Terai?
Thank you so much for the very relevant question today. As Terai is an integral part of Uttar Pradesh, this question has a relevance. So coming to the first part of the question, the concept of biodiversity is basically the cornerstone of the human well-being and wellness in totality. And every resource which we use in well-being to maintain ourselves, especially in natural well-being, comes from the biodiversity. And Terai landscape of Uttar Pradesh is a biodiverse, rich landscape there is, and that has some globally important and renowned protected areas, which protects a lot of plant species and animal species as such. It also provides plethora of resources for sustenance. And one of the segment of those resources is wild, underutilized and neglected species. Now, what is so amazing about these neglected species is they are amazing in terms of nutrition. They have higher nutrient qualities and quantities in comparison to what we eat in fruits and vegetables in our daily life. But we are we have moved forward in terms of export and import, that we are neglecting these species which are already present in the wilderness and switching over to the species which are coming from, 500 kilometers range or so. So now, these species has an added potential, which is NTFP-based livelihood sustenance. So to integrate these, if we integrate all these things, the wellness thing, the nutrition component, the livelihood enhancement component, if we integrate these, there's an immense potential of ecotourism in the Terai region of Uttar Pradesh, coupled with wellness, of course. So, and but we have to, include the forest fringe communities, the communities which have the knowledge of these species there. So, these, to integrate, these can address triple targets basically. First, conserve the biodiversity and sustainable management of these resources. Second would be enhance the local livelihood or local incomes. And third, generate wellness ecotourism in the region. So, but we must not forget the people over there. We are talking about bigger hotels. Yes, of course they are necessary. We are talking about bigger ventures. But here, I am talking about those people who have that knowledge, who have the potential of giving you the knowledge basically. So here I am, the voice of indigenous forest fringe communities of Terai, and I'll request all of you to give them a huge round of applause to give you the knowledge we are utilizing today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Manika. And with this, we come to an end of this second session, the second last session rather of the day. And may I request, thank you to all my panelists, and may I request Mr. Mukesh Meshram to please come on this stage and honor the panelists who have been on this panel. Dr. Yamini Bhushan, may I request you to please come forward. Dr. Gurang Joshi. Dr. Rajiv Vasudevan. Mrs. Norbu. Dr. Manika. Mr. Abhinav Gaur, please. Thank you. Sorry for time cutting.
We are a little short of time, so instead of a break, we would right away begin with the third technical session. So I invite on stage Dr. Janani Ramanathan from Kerala, Dr. Mohit Gupta from Mount Abu. Kindly come on stage and take your seats. Dr. Manoj Dikshit, Vaidya Sushil Kumar Dubey ji, Dr. Abhay Tiwari, Professor Rajesh Bhatt, and Mr. Abhyuday Mishra.